What's going on, guys? This is Kaishra. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. On this video, we're going to tackle and cover my deck profile of Voiceless Voice, Pure Voiceless Voice, and a budget one. On that note, this build doesn't have Diviner and the Nadir package, which has Garura, because Diviner and Garura are very expensive right now. So I couldn't afford them, but I have gutted myself to run Voiceless Voice on that event, even though I don't have those two essential cards for the deck. But yeah, I have placed 26 out of 211 participants on that tournament, and it is 8 rounds of Swiss, so I've got 5 wins and 2 losses and 1 draw. Most of the losses and draw are very manageable. I could have won on those rounds, but I lacked time to finish the game. And yeah, I think the event was very unfortunate because our time limit was shortened due to the mall hours being very strict, and we ran the games on 35 minutes only per round. That's why I have lost on time, and Voiceless Voice doesn't have that much pace and tempo to close out games fast. That's why I really regret on those department. But yeah, moving forward, this is my deck list. So starting on the main deck, we have only 40 card, short and concise. I wouldn't want to run more over 40. So on the ritual, we have 2 Skull Guardian. I have tried playing 3 Skull Guardian on my testings and Edo Pro replays, but yeah, I think the third one is quite bricky, even though it gives you some lineage on grind games and some occasions. But yeah, I think 2 is the perfect ratio for Skull Guardian. Next, we have 2 Sauravis. Before I was playing one Sauravis only, but I have dropped the Pendulum Grab on my deck because I do feel like that card is quite bricky on my preference. So I ran the second copy of Sauravis, and this card is very good as well to dodge the Whalers and Imperms right now, which are very prominent on the format. And I think this is the MVP card on my main monsters because it saved a lot of effects for the Law and the Skull Guardian on my field. Next, we have Triple Law, standard. Next, we have Triple Saphira, of course. You wouldn't want to run less of Saphira. This card is one of the most pivotal card for the deck. And one Sagely. And next, we have, on my hand traps, we have Triple Ash Blossom. I always side out Ash Blossom when going first when post game 2 and 3 because I run other cards to complement my going first strategy. That's why I do feel like that Ash is only there to nullify and mitigate the Maxi. So yeah, I think Ash is not that really good on my experience on this deck. Next we have Maxi, of course, the best card on the OCG. And next we have Triple Veiler. And another tricky ratio for me because I thought of playing 2 Veiler only or even not running Veiler, and I would often debate with myself if I could run more Floodgates on my deck or other utility cards. But in the end, I have opted for utility and safe option. That's why I run 3 Veilers on the main deck. Next, we have 3 Barrier. Of course, best card for the Voiceless Voice. I'm really glad that they didn't touch the barrier on the previous ban list recently for the April ban list. So I think this card will get into 2 or even 1 if we will be unfortunate as Voiceless Voice players on the following ban list on July. Next we have 2 Prayer, of course. Then Blessing. So this is very phenomenal for Voiceless Voice. It is infinite recursion and it gives you a lot of resiliency on your turn, and I think this will be very good when this card drops on the TCG post Lede. Next we have triple pre-prep. This is also very strong for me because I think I would have lost a lot of games if I haven't draw these cards because I don't run Diviner and the Nadir as well are not present on my deck. That's why I am really relying on this card to resolve to procure my plays. Next we have Triple Extravagance. So yeah, Extravagance is just phenomenal for the deck. You don't really care that much on your extra deck That's why running extra is very good. And you also bait out Ash Blossom, which can be very pivotal to protect your Saphira from Ash Blossom. If your opponent commits their Ash Blossom on the extravagance, you're pretty much safe from Ash Blossom on the following plays. And next we have one Prosperity, another draw power, and one uh, Authority or Radiance. I forgot the name right now. So yeah, Authority is just only one before I trying to experiment with two copies, but yeah, I figured out that one is the correct choice for this build. Next we have triple imperm, of course, and the tech card on my main deck, which I run 3 copies of Summon Limit. So Summon Limit is very strong for me in my experience. I have stopped a lot of combo decks and other decks that tries to overwhelm my board, because for me, Voiceless Voice doesn't have a very punishing board. You only have one Omni Negate, you have your Sauravis, and sometimes you have your Pop from the Authority. And sometimes I feel like those are quite lackadaisical on my perspective. That's why I opted to run Summon Limit to have avenues to stop the opponent from playing the game. So Summon Limit is very good as well for me, and I'm going to try to slot in these guards even if I have Diviner moving forward. But yeah, I think Summon Limit is just very strong for Voiceless Voice right now. Next, moving on towards my extra deck, we have 2 Dynamondo. So I'm really regretful that I didn't run the third copy of Dynamondo. There's a lot of instances that I have lost the 2 copies of Dynamondo from Extravagance. So I think I could have won more if I have played the third copy of Dynamondo. But yeah, I only ran 2 for that event and I really feel regretful. Next time I would bump the Dynamondo into 3 copies, because this card is very nuts for the Voiceless Voice. It is like a custom made card for Voiceless Voice, to be honest. Next we have Anima. So Anima is just a really good card for Voiceless Voice. We have Veilers and we have Lo, of course. Next we have Linkuribo. And next we have Almirage. The reason why I played Almirage is because I'm playing Secure Guard na. And also I'm playing Hita, the Fire Charmer, and I often use Almirage as a link target for my Lo or other cards on the deck, like hand traps, to link climb into the Hita. So I feel like that Hita is very strong on my extra deck, especially the format is really objectified on playing Fire Nation decks or Fire Tribute decks. That's why I think Almirage is very good here on my extra deck. Next we have Secure Guard na, and yeah, the Hita Charmer. And next we have SP Little Knight, of course. And we have Donor, the Dagger for Hire. I forgot the name. But yeah, Donor is just a second copy of SP Little Knight. I just don't have the money to buy the second copy of Little Knight because it's 500 pesos already in the Philippines right now, and it's quite hefty. So I ran the budget alternative for Donor. And next we have Nightmare Phoenix. I really thank myself because I played this card, because before I didn't even consider playing this card, but I think that having Phoenix is really huge for the Philippines metagame, because most of the decks in the Philippines are running back row strategies. Those control and meta beat type of decks are very annoying to deal against. That's why I think Phoenix is very generic and a must-have card on my extra deck in the Philippines metagame. Next we have Unicorn, another generic. Then we have Access Code Talker. I I am really debated if I am going to run Access Code or the Unchained Link 4 before, but I think that I have more practice and time with Access Code. That's why I think Access Code is just better on my preference. Next we have Typhon. I didn't really play this card on the tournament. I have no windows to make this card, and I think there's better cards on my extra deck over than the Typhoon. Next we have the Nightingale. This card is just used to answer the Tenpai matchup. You make this card to prevent your board from getting annihilated and getting OTK'd. So I think this card is essential as well on the extra deck of Voiceless Voice, just to stop the Tenpai matchup, because I don't run the Pendulum Grab and I don't have access towards the Meteor Burst, and I think this card is just here to save my ass from Tenpai. Next we have Arc Light. I can make this card if I have drawn Ash Blossom, but yeah, I think I didn't have that opportunity to do so, and it is just here if I have randomly faced a Voiceless Voice Mirror with Maximus package on their deck. So moving towards our side deck, we have triple Nibiru, rather two, double Nibiru. I only run two because I don't have that much space on my extra deck, rather side deck to play the third copy. Next we have two Droll and Lockbird. So Droll is just here to stop the Wanderies, the other combo decks to nullify and destroy my Voiceless Voice setup because sometimes decks that are very high tempo and fast paced can really overwhelm the Voiceless Voice because you don't have much gas when you go second. You only have the Lo, the Saphira, and that's it. If those two got negated and you don't have really good hands to play, I think you will eventually lose the game from that. So I think Droll is very essential as well on my side deck to prevent that from happening. Then we have Two Dogwood. I really didn't get to play this card on the tournament. I often feel lackadaisical on these two cards, but in theory and in my practice, I have played this card very much often and I have gotten results over my testing, but on the tournament, it didn't really came out. And next we have two called by. So two called by because Ash, Maxi, and Veiler are very pesky when you go first. So you just use called by when you go first on this deck. Then we have Harpy's Feather Duster, of course, back row removal, and triple evenly match. I didn't run Cosmic Cyclone on this deck because I feel like that evenly match is much more punishing over the Cosmic Cyclone, and I don't want to lose on time because the minus 1k LP of Cosmic Cyclone really stinks a lot for me. But yeah, I think I have made the correct option on that tournament to run evenly match because I have won so many games when losing the die roll. And I, by the way, I only have won 2 die roll out of 8 rounds. So I feel like that if I have won more die rolls, I think I could have done better. But yeah, I think it is what it is. And next we have Anti-Spell Fragrance, another going first card for my deck. And I think this card is also very strong because I have single-handedly won a match against Snake Eyes from just resolving this Anti-Spell. So I think Anti-Spell is just here for my floodgating presence, and also this is a very strong going first card to stop the spell cards on the game. So yeah, this sums up my Voiceless Voice budget, Voiceless Voice deck profile that have won 26th place out of 211 participants. So once again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something from this video, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can gain more followers. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.